Hi everyone, how are you today? I hope you're well. As you can see from the title, I've had a bad winter through spring and far into summer. I'm a mess. My pain is through the roof. I have migraines nearly every day, and my feet hurt. They feel like they're on fire most of the time. How this all happened was 2 weeks before Christmas. I was working on a wooden tree design, and I stepped down off our porch. And my right foot landed on a broken brick, and I heard a crack. I felt my foot turn inward. And the forward momentum caused my knees to buckle, and I landed hard on my bottom. Unfortunately, my left foot was caught under me. My husband and his friend heard. I was embarrassed and in pain, and I just needed time to think about what to do. So I asked him to leave me alone, and I sat there in the dirt for a while, and I was in shock. I couldn't believe this had happened. And I thought, maybe? No, it was too bad. So I decided that I would have them take me to urgent. And my daughter had to practically carry me to the truck because I couldn't put weight on either of my feet. And, my left ankle, big swelling, and anyway, it was bad. And we knew it was bad. But I still had hope it wasn't broken, but urgent care seemed like the right place at the time. They were kind, but not completely helpful. They put a temporary cast on my left ankle, which was broken in 3 places. But the doctor didn't do anything for my right foot. He said that I needed to be able to walk. I needed to be able to get up and get around. And so he just left that alone. So they sold me a pair of crutches, had the casts on. They gave me the x-rays to take to an orthopedist. When we got to the orthopedist, the x-rays hadn't been labeled very well. So the orthopedist thought that all 4 breaks were on my left ankle and foot. And it took him a while to realize that my right foot was broken and my left ankle was broken. So he put a cast on my left ankle and did a boot on my right. And as soon as I got home and tried to get up on the crutches, it just was apparent there's no way I could manage on the crutches with the boot, because the boot is so unstable. I was all over the place, and I was dizzy and lightheaded on top of it, and I was just exhausted. And so my husband decided I would scoot around on an office chair to get back and forth to the bathroom and water and stuff. Just to get out of bed. If I stay in bed too long, I get more pain from the fibro. It was a whirlwind. Anyway, I was in shock for a long while. I would lay in bed and hold my husband's hand and just leak tears. On some days I was devastated and just sat in my chair and looked out the window, knowing that I couldn't go. I couldn't get out the door without a lot of hassle, and I just didn't have the energy to try and do anything. And I just felt trapped and so dejected. And I was already feeling trapped because I couldn't get out and do everything I wanted to do with fibro. And, I was working so hard to build up my physical self, walking every day and doing yoga and just trying to get stronger. And then all of a sudden, I'm in bed. I can't move half the time. But, there were some days that I was feeling a little better and I was able to get up and help with a little bit of cooking and cleaning. Showering was difficult. Everything was so much more difficult. So I had the cast on for 6 weeks. After 6 weeks, he replaced the cast with a boot. And so that was for 2 more weeks, so a total of 8 weeks. And then 9 weeks for my right foot. I guess the 5th metatarsal that was broken, it's hard. It doesn't heal very well. So 9 weeks for my right, 8 weeks for my left. So what do I do then? I was free of both boots. My feet were free, but I wasn't free of the chair. The office chair broke, and we replaced it with a walker wheelchair combo. The walker chair really helped. It could carry most of my weight as I took little baby steps. The doctor recognized right away that physical therapy wasn't really an option because of cost and my fibro. A lot of people in the medical profession don't understand fibro, and they don't understand the fatigue, and they don't understand that touch hurts, that movement hurts, and we just have to take it slower to recuperate. So it wasn't an option. So I watched a lot of videos, tried to figure out what to do, what's the best approach to take, and I finally decided on drawing the alphabet with my toes and, working on range of motion, and rolling a ball underneath my arches really helped, to stretch those stiff joints out. And then picking up a bead with my toes. I was surprised that my toes didn't want to move very well. So I picked up a bead with my toes. And throughout the day, I tend to stretch and flex anyway because it helps relieve a lot of the soreness from the fibro and stiffness. Overall, I was exhausted. Recuperation was slow. So I went from walking little baby steps with the walker, back and forth to the bathroom, which is about 10 feet. And to being able to walk around the house for 12 minutes with the walker and barely using the walker for support at all. So by May, this happened in December, by May, I was starting to incorporate some yoga into my routine. I was getting stronger, and it really felt good. I was able to get up and down off the floor and all that stuff. It's more challenging. So one morning I was doing my yoga, and I did a semblance of a warrior pose, and I felt a sharp pain in my left ankle as I did this. And I decided that I'd just stay off it. I didn't want to go to the doctor every time. I don't like to go to the doctor every time some little thing comes up. So I decided I'd just stay off it and rest it for a week or so and then see how it goes. That was in May. And I'm still at the point where it's pretty swollen. It's very painful. It turns purple. And I also noticed that my knee was really painful. And I don't know if my knee got hurt when I initially fell. I have a deep hole in my knee. So I think that there were some things damaged and it didn't show up. it didn't hurt that much worse than the wound that was on it. So now I'm barely able to walk using the walker. I'm better able to manage the crutches because it takes more of my weight. And at this point, I'm pretty dejected. I'm exhausted. I have no energy. I have no... But, I get up every day. I do what exercises I can do. I go outside and I sit. And my fatigue is pervasive. My brain fog is thick. At one point this spring, I woke up from a nap and was completely out of it. I just lightheaded, weak, nauseous. My muscles were cramped and aching. My feet and everything was just cramped up and it hurt. And part of my face was numb. We decided to call an ambulance. There was nobody that could drive me at that point. So the firemen and the ambulance decided we're worried that it was a stroke because of my symptoms and the numbness in my face. So they took me to the ER. Tests showed no stroke. I was taking tramadol for pain as well as a diuretic for high blood pressure, and the combination caused my potassium and sodium level to drop dangerously low, and that's what was causing my symptoms. So after a few hours on IV saline and potassium drink, I went back home. But it took me weeks of consuming foods with potassium and sodium for me to start feeling like myself again. The blood tests also showed low levels of vitamin D. I drink milk. The milk contains sodium and potassium too. It shouldn't be like that. So anyway, the doctor advised supplementing with vitamin D, so I take a multivitamin and fish oil with vitamin D. And I'm still experiencing a lot more fatigue and brain fog. And there's days that I just feel like I'm low on those things, so I just go and grab the foods that have more of those. I kind of think a lot of the fatigue and brain fog is because my ankles are still trying to heal. At this time, my left foot turns purple, and there's noticeable swelling, and it feels, especially at night, like it's just on fire from my knee down to my toes. And my right ankle and foot have some swelling, and it gets sore, but mostly it feels okay. It'll be burning once in a while too. So the last 7 months have been a lot of time me being in bed, and there's just a lot of time where I'm just sitting and reflecting on my life and how it's been and where am I going, all those questions that you get thinking when you have too much time to do nothing. So this has led to some changes in my life, changes that I want to make going forward. So I started playing Minecraft on a server with my daughters, and that's on Xbox because that's what they play on. My gamer tag on there was Tampto Bird. And my nickname in college and high school was Tweet. And I like that. I like being identified as Tweet. It was simple. you know, but Twitter, they trademarked tweet, so I didn't feel like I could use that. And that's such a cliche. Back then it was unique. It reflected a bird. Now it's just social media. So my daughter and I threw some thoughts around and we came up with Quilty Bird. And that seems like it fits me. I like quilting and I like birds, and it reflects the tweet thing. And the reason I got the name Tweet is because my friend said that I eat like a bird, eat little bits at a time. So it's kind of funny. Anyway, it fits me. I like the birds. My favorite bird is a hummingbird. So I added an A to the beginning to make it unique. So now it's a Quilty Bird. And it also inspires a brand. I can build on this. I can, get logos and different things that will reflect Quilty Bird. So, yeah, I'm hopeful at this point. I'm getting more hopeful. So within the last few weeks, I've been able to get actually out to my studio. It's only like 20 feet from the house, but, crutches and uneven ground and lightheadedness. Anyway, I've been able to get out there, and it feels really good. I'm sewing a little bit, I'm painting a little bit, and it just feels good to sit in the shade outside and stitch a little and watch the birds and the dogs and, just be outside and not be cooped up in the house all the time. I wish there's so much I could change, but the reality is this is my life. Things are going to be hard for me. Things happen. It's going to take me longer to recover. And that acceptance of that is hard. And it's probably a process that I'm going to be going through the rest of my life. 2 broken limbs, not being able to walk. It was hard to accept. It was hard to work through. But I keep reminding myself, I am doing okay. I am getting better. It's just really slow. And I hope that you can reflect on you guys' life and just find the little bits of joy in your life and be able to tell yourself, I'm doing okay. There's challenges. Everybody has challenges. And I hope we can all work through them.